Welcome back. um, I'm gonna read the first article that I ever posted. I don't really have ever talked about like my adoption until like 2020, I think, and even then it was mostly in my like specific Guatemalan adoptee groups, but that's where shame lives. So I just have to share it, and also because I still have nightmares. I'm on a medication for my nightmares because it gets really bad. And so I hope that by just like talking about it or whatever, it will help release that. Like, I just want to sleep, have some nice dreams or something. Okay, so this is called my article, An International Child Trafficking Network, Guatemala. And it took a long time to put it all together, to edit it, and like it's my first introduction, like, so it's a big deal for me. It's been posted for a while, but also maybe me reading it would be better or whatever. So, just gonna read it again. I'm a writer, not whatever, so be nice to me. Please. Okay. I'm so nervous, I don't know why. Okay. In the heart of Guatemala, a harrowing tale of cruelty and injustice unfolds, revealing the depths of human rights violations, especially within indigenous communities. Here, a powerful international child trafficking network thrives, composed of professionals, government officials, child traffickers. I'm gonna start where I left off. I don't know. I don't know how to do this really. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Okay, should I just start over? I don't know. At least I look nice. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep on going. Here, a powerful international child trafficking network thrives, composed of professionals, government officials, child kidnappers, and prostitutes. This nefarious network exploits a legal void that fails to classify the buying and selling of children as a crime, effectively turning Guatemala's capital into an immense marketplace where the price of a child can soar to a chilling $20,000 USD. The origins of this sinister network are found right at the border between Mexico and Guatemala, where traffickers have cunningly established clandestine routes through remote wilderness areas, free from any form of surveillance, as confirmed by immigration authorities in Guatemala. Carmela Curio, I don't know how to say that. Carmela, the attorney for minors at the Guatemala Attorney General's office, expresses her reservations about labeling it an international trafficking network, cautioning that they haven't yet proven the abduction of children by foreigners. She contends that everything happening, albeit dubiously, is within the bounds of the law. However, she voices deep concern about the growing number of individuals involved in abducting children for the lure of a few quetzales. And that's the local currency in Guatemala. It's also the bird, and it's very beautiful. An investigation by the Journal unraveled the story of Flor de Maria Soto Hernandez, a 1.5-year-old child stolen from the city of Hidalgo, Mexico, with intentions of being handed over to a Guatemalan couple through an adoption process. DNA tests conducted by the Canadian Embassy in Guatemala unveiled the deception, as the child had no genetic relation to the supposed mother. That's what I was talking about in my other video. This was not an isolated case. Guatemalan judicial authorities were aware of at least 20 similar incidents referred to as child abduction or adoption prostitution. Father de Mar Barria, director of the Casa del Migrante in the border region of Tikkun Uman, attests to the audacity and organizational prowess of this trafficking network, sharing that they have received pleas from families seeking help to recover their stolen children. Shocking revelations emerge about a group of 80 lawyers and notaries, as disclosed by attorney for minors Carmela Kurup, who dedicated their efforts to acquiring, caring for, promoting, and even falsifying the identities of the minors marked for sale. In this dark narrative, Guatemala takes on the chilling role as a sheltered hub, facilitated in part by individuals like Susana Zarco de Umana, director of the Association Los Niños de Guatemala, and the wife of the Supreme Court President Ricardo Umana. She possesses an astonishing average of 10 legal adoptions every month, reaping profits of 150,000 American dollars every 30 days. That is the lady who is on my adoption papers, and you can look at my my receipt, and that's her name and how much they were paid, and like her signatures, and yeah, so she's one of them in my personal adoption file. So allegations surface that Susana de Umana leverages her connections to advance this nefarious enterprise, capitalizing on her husband's position. Disturbingly, it's not just her. Confidential government sources, fearing for their lives if their names are revealed, claim that the list of implicated officials extends to figures like the former Guatemalan ambassador to the United States, Edmund Mullet, and Juan Jose Rodia Peretal, the ex-president of the Supreme Court. In this heart-wrenching scenario, prospective adoptive parents can even request customized children, specifying physical attributes such as hair color, eye color, and skin tone, and more. Susana's motto was, "If we don't have it, we make it." You know, which is so... Who says that? You know, for $150,000 every 30 days. You know. Yeah. Okay. In Guatemala, this network has successfully positioned itself as a center for identity exchange, where children are stolen, bought, and exported to the United States, Canada, and Europe under the guise of seemingly legal adoptions. Okay, and then this next part, it's the hierarchical structure of the international child trafficking network. So we'll go over the people involved, the definition, etc., etc. So first up, lawyers and notaries. These individuals pay operatives in the lower echelons. Sorry, I got an email. Lower echelons, that's not how you say it, of the network to steal and buy children. They also collaborate with international adoption agencies to offer children and carry out legal adoption procedures to facilitate the children's exit from the country. They profit between 8,000 and 20,000 USD per child. Okay. Adoption agencies. They are operated from the adoptive parent's home country, usually. These agencies engage local lawyers and notaries through substantial payments. They expedite the arrival of the child even when the adoption procedures remain incomplete. So they're just like, got a kid ready to go. Don't worry about the passport. Look how cute. You know. Okay. Intermediaries. Women involved in purchasing, stealing, and operating houses with pregnant women willing to sell their children upon birth. They earn between $1,600 and $2,500 per child, essentially. No, that's per month, I believe. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me. These women are often owners or directors of local orphanages or daycare facilities. They are a crucial part of the communication between prospective adoptive parents and the child traffickers. Caretakers. These are often young girls from local villages who are responsible for looking after the child during the adoption process, earning $15 per month. These young girls are loving, kind, and provide safety and comfort to the children in their care. This job is safer and more reliable than sex work. And I'm very grateful to my caretakers. I think I have maybe a couple pictures. I know that there were a couple. But yeah, I don't hold it against them. Because also $15 is a lot, especially back then, like the 1970s to early 2000s. That's a lot of money. And it's to take care of like little babies, and safer than sex work. Like I would have done that if I stayed there, probably, it's, so yeah, I don't hold anything against them. Okay, supposed mothers. Women who impersonate the child's biological mother for a fee, earning $33 to $50. They will be a part of the child's life long enough to sign a forged birth certificate or pretend to be their mother in order to get the child declared abandoned. Biological mothers, often indigenous women and young girls that are preyed upon to be raped, have their children stolen, or just to be sold as themselves for 33 to 55 USD. Prostitutes, primarily Salvadorian and Nicaraguan. Nicaraguan. Oh my God, shut up. People from Nicaragua. I can't even say it. Please don't judge me. Who effectively turned their bodies into baby factories. They earn between $50 and $160 for each pregnancy. Midwives, women who accept payment for issuing a birth notice, earning $33 to $50 per pregnancy. There are multiple accounts of midwives being the ones to steal the child or take the child under false pretenses. Once intermediaries obtain a child, either through purchase or theft, I'm gonna burp, excuse me. Okay. Once intermediaries obtain a child, either through purchase or theft, they set out to find a mother substitute. The intermediary also procures a birth notice from a midwife, a document used to obtain a legal birth certificate. With this legal document in hand, the child can be legally put up for adoption. According to the testimony of members of the network, the intermediary is also responsible for purchasing a notice of birth to the midwife, who agrees to extend the boleta in the name of the alleged mother. So basically just to forge it and keep them out of the limelight. I don't know. So the boleta is valid before the civil registry, and that's made by the intermediary to obtain a birth certificate. I know it's really complicated, but I mean, it's same America. You can't just like have a baby and like, you have to get a social security. Okay, that's what the civil registry is. Yeah, pretty similar things. I'm probably not explaining it very well. But yeah, okay. So from there, the broker has a legal document that the child in turn will be subject to adoption. A substitute mother, child, and legal documents are then transported to Guatemala City. In the office of a notary, the substitute mother must sign her consent for the child's adoption, a step that provides legal cover through the guardianship certificate. During this process, the child remains in the care of the caregiver. After completing all necessary procedures, the child is ready to leave the country. Staggering statistics from Guatemala's Human Rights Ombudsman's office reveals that out of 3,000 children adopted from Guatemala annually, a staggering 2,850 are sent abroad. And in 1996 alone, 560 Guatemalan children were adopted in the United States. The second part, testimonies from some people. And I swear to God, I'm so sorry about the pronunciation, okay? I'm a writer, not a speaker. Yeah. Okay, so a delegate from immigration in El Carmen, Raul Orozco, confirms the existence of a specific route used by individuals involved in child trafficking. These traffickers use various paths through the region, including river, hills, and mountains, to transport children. Orozco explains that these cases of child trafficking are not isolated incidents, but are prevalent throughout the frontier, and traffickers often pass through this area on their way to Guatemala. He highlights a significant challenge. When these traffickers cross the border, they present their passports and claim that they are transiting through Guatemala, which makes it difficult for authorities to investigate further or determine if they are transporting children illegally. Orozco emphasizes the limitations of their authority in such cases. They cannot effectively investigate or prevent the illegal transportation of children in these situations. He adds that the Guatemalan border in El Carmen has a jurisdiction of only 100 meters around. Speaking about some of the cases he has dealt with as an immigration officer, he said, "I met a couple who claimed that the boy was their son, and I detected that it was not true. The child was totally different from the parents. At the time of the investigation, the documents were false. Today in Guatemala, we are struggling to incorporate a law to penalize the trafficking of minors. Due to the extensive amount of high-ranking political figures that are involved in these Due to the extensive amount of high-ranking political figures that are involved in these illegal activities, the initiative quickly died. The business continues. At a local hotel, a part of the child trafficking network, the following scenes unfold. A prospective couple cannot wait in the waiting room. Their eyes just go to the door of the reception. A woman appears carrying a lump in her lap. The couple run towards it, untangling the rebozo, leaving a small head. The image remains. Brown arms fall to the white arms. It's a girl who is 3 months old, born on June 15th and is now for sale, called Pamela Sam, but the potential buyers rename her. The Hotel La Casa Grande, located at Avenida Reforma 767 in Zone 10, is a home to all those buyers of infants, children up to 1 year or more. Hi baby, oh my baby, my little girl, the couple who came from Oklahoma said to the baby. The woman who brought the child is looking for a translator. She needs to give some instructions before leaving. The couple has the right to spend 7 hours with Pamela. However, the hotel invites the couples to keep babies overnight under the condition not to leave La Casa Grande. The other instructions or guidelines for Pamela to live with 5 children of the caregiver. The caregiver works for a law firm and says they cannot house any more children without being accused of running clandestine nurseries or daycares. An unusual statement by the woman to the potential buyers was that Pamela spent the night with a fever and flu. At home, there was an outbreak infection, she says, and the 5 other children were sick too. And this is translated from Spanish, by the way, so if it reads weird, it's that. The next day at 7 p.m., they said their goodbyes. The fate of Pamela is still unclear, but it is unfortunately not the only case in the hotel nursery. Through the corridors of La Casa Grande, you can breathe the smell of diapers. The doors of the room half open allow you to see a crib for each bed. Here, a child who can barely walk is led by a hand that does not correspond to his color, nor his language, nor his life. There are no couples here who do not drive a stroller, carry a blanket, and who prepare baby bottles. The daily rhythm begins at 6 in the morning when the 28 rooms of the hotel are empty because the couples are concentrated in the cafeteria, a fantasy setting where vines hang like strings from the wall and dishes are served on pink tablecloths. It's time for the first bottle. From then on, everything is lulling newborns and older children, teaching them to walk along the corridors where, as they advance, the moan of a little one is buried. Another buyer named Eddie High is happy. She already bought her daughter. Tomorrow, she will return with her new daughter to her home in Jerusalem. It is the second time that she has come to Guatemala to purchase a minor. It took 18 hours of flight, $1,400 for the plane ticket, plus the adoption procedures, and of that total price, it's not revealed. The acquired baby had the name of Catherine, but from this moment, she is called Tamar and will live in Jerusalem, Israel. Never before has the enigma of pink have been so intricately woven into the fabric of these furnishings, curtains, sheets, and furniture alike, to create a comfortable fantasy. As the dawn breaks, a silent procession of couples begin to arrive, each carrying with them their own concealed ambitions, soon to be unveiled within the confines of the pink waiting room. That's it. Round of applause. Okay, bye.